former LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy on charges related to a hit and run that killed a man. Lacy declared for the draft after graduating in December. Now he could be charged with negligent homicide. Good evening and thanks so much for watching. I'm Whitney Miller. Hours after turning himself in, we were the only news outlet there as he arrived at the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. You can see him enter the building and speak with several state troopers, then get led to the back. The crash happened last month in Jack Bay. State police say a Dodge Charger was driving southbound on Highway 20. The driver sped up and crossed into the northbound side to pass multiple cars in front of them, even though it was a no passing lane. A car in the northbound lane stopped to avoid being hit, which caused the car behind them to swerve and hit another vehicle head on. The Charger sped off and 3 people from 2 of those cars were taken to the hospital. One 78-year-old man, Herman Hall, died not long after. Investigators identified the Charger as belonging to Kyren Lacy. State police issued an arrest warrant for him. Authorities tell us he faces charges of negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless
Breaking news before we go. We just learned that former LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy has died, according to ESPN. It's not clear yet how he died, but we do know his death comes as he was facing a negligent homicide charge tied to a deadly crash in Lafourche Parish. Troopers say Lacy tried to pass several cars in a no-passing zone, causing a head-on collision that killed a 78-year-old man. Lacy had turned himself in and posted bond back in January. His case was set to go before a grand jury this week. He was also previously considered a potential first-round pick in the NFL.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV. UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and first and foremost, I do want to send condolences to the entire families of Herman Hall, who passed away last December with that car accident that's connected to this storyline, and also Kyren Lacy, as you just said right there. They found him out here in Houston deceased, and supposedly multiple reports are saying that it's an apparent suicide after it was known that he had to go follow court proceedings beginning tomorrow with the situation of that negligent homicide case that happened with that car accident. So most definitely, both of their families going through this loss right now. Anybody that cared about them, dealt with them, teammates, everybody that was, anybody going through it with this loss right here, man, this is a very tragic situation. So I want to send prayers up to anybody close to both of these guys and say God bless their souls and may they rest in peace. And I had a link in the description where you can watch them clips in the beginning in full on channel 4 and channel 6. And I'm gonna get into the write-up in just a second. As Kyren Lacy, we seen it break into the news where, bro, he supposed to go first round, man. Had the skill set, had everything ready to go to that next level. Couldn't go to the combine though because of this case was lingering over his head. They did say he did a good job at the pro day as expected. Everybody knew that he was going to be able to provide, and he would have been a first round pick.
LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy turns heads at pro day today.
Despite the on-field performance, Lacy's legal situation looms large and could land him in jail. Sean Fazan has the latest from Baton Rouge.
A big day here in Baton Rouge for LSU draft hopefuls at LSU's Pro Day, where all 32 NFL teams were represented to get an up-close look at the Tigers' 2025 draft class. One player who did participate was wide receiver Kyren Lacy. He ran the 40-yard dash, did all the wide receiver drills, but his draft future is still very much in doubt. That's because Lacy faces charges of vehicular homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle stemming from a December car accident that took the life of a 78-year-old man. Lacy was not invited to the combine because of that arrest. Today, he returned to Baton Rouge, where he played for a couple seasons for Brian Kelly's LSU Tigers. There is no doubt he has what it takes to get to the next level.
But with this case lingering, it was looking like it was all going to be about the legal matters in this situation. Was he going to get the shot to go live out his dream and play in the NFL? Very unfortunate situation. Driving on the, hey, I just like, man, this is one of them ones you just hate to see it play out like this. Of course, for the guy losing his life in the car, the other people injured in the accident, you don't want to see that happen to nobody at all, bro. Like, you know, then it's like him making a mistake on the road or anything in that way of driving in a form or fashion that hurt somebody else intentionally or unintentionally. Like, it's just like, man, you know that bro wasn't trying to go out there and do that on the road at all. Just made a bad decision in that moment. But of course, it was lingering over his head and bothering him and things like that. And the write-up said this. Former LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy, who was facing a negligent homicide charge in connection with the deadly crash, has died, according to our partners at WBRZ in Baton Rouge. WBRZ's investigative unit reported that sources said Lacy died by suicide. A grand jury was scheduled to review the case on Monday. Authorities said Lacy was driving a vehicle that struck another car head-on along Louisiana Highway 20 late last year, killing 78-year-old Herman Hall. Louisiana State Police said Lacy was speeding, crossed the center line in a no-passing zone, and fled the scene after the collision. Lacy was booked on charges of negligent homicide, hit and run, and reckless operation, and spent less than 2 hours in the Lafourche Parish Jail. Lacy played 3 seasons of college at LSU after transferring from University of Louisiana at Lafayette. In his senior year at LSU, Lacy had a career-high 58 catches for 866 yards and 9 touchdowns. He graduated in December, and 2 days after the crash, he announced he was entering the 2025 NFL Draft. Like I said, I don't think he intentionally wanted this car wreck to happen, but how things happen afterwards and how it all played out, man, it's one of them ones you like, dog, this is real unfortunate. You hate to see this happen, especially for the family of Herman, the people that had that gone in that accident and what they going through right now. And then his family waking up and hearing this news this morning is most definitely tough, bro. And yeah, this one of them ones. I just got to send the prayers up to everybody going through it right now. Dog had his whole future ahead of him, but unfortunate, man, sometimes things go wrong and it be out of people's hands. I would just say this as well, though, bro. Like, for me, I can't speak on nobody's mental health and diagnose mental, what somebody's going through in their mind, or how much is tearing them down, or how bad they feel, and them may not be wanting to face the backlash or the consequences of these actions, man. I just don't feel like, you know, taking your life, bro. That I just gotta come on and speak against that. You know, that's not me trying to tear nobody down who has went through that before. Not saying I can measure their pain or anybody else in the future, bro. It can happen to people. You never know what you can go through. But we just gotta tell people out here, man, pick up the phone and call somebody, bro. Pick up the phone and call your family, your people. Talk to somebody before you go on and take your own life, man, because you never know how it can work out for you, man. You never know what'll happen in the future, man. You just can't, that this ending it, that's not gonna be the way, bro. But we have to just speak out against it and tell people there's people you can talk to, bro. That ain't the, you know, you don't want people to take their own lives out here either, man. So most definitely, bro, condolences to their family once again. Everybody going through it, Herman Hall, Kyren Lacy, the whole LSU community and things, his entire family. 1000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.